Ray and Saren's aren't much for subtlety.
Step lightly.
Yeah? Whew, good thing I sold most of my jewelry.
On the hunt.
Take much more of this!
Stunts and exposed in that,
Fear no!
Keeping an eye out.
Got it. Let's go!
Hey,
Need something?
I'll stay out of sight.
Enough! I've had my fill of... What's this? What? Who are you? More of your scheming friends? Not a scrap of honor in the lot of you. Yes, and you're the one who's been skulking around my camp.
you sure he's not just a weirdo with an empty stare? I get those confused a lot.
That's not known to many. Not past these walls. Why have you come? Why now? I see and hear spirits, it's true. It took many years to understand. Does everyone in the Deerwood boast of their afflictions? It's hardly something to be proud of. Look to your own sins, Watcher. I'll not share mine. I wouldn't know. Perhaps we simply worsen each other's condition. What? What is it? That wouldn't bode well for you, would it? I've a firm grip on my senses, whatever you believe. The Watcher's curse is many things, but if it promised madness, I would not have taken command of the Iron Flail. The memories I saw, some of them couldn't have belonged to you. You're awakened, aren't you? No, of course not. It seems a terrible thing to be awakened and a Watcher both. I'm sorry. Yes, we were in the middle of something, I believe. Stalwart sent delegates to discuss terms of peace. I offered them the opportunity. I was generous. But Stalwart sent soothsayers, not diplomats, to frighten us with stories of the moon going dark, the earth shaking.
I would speak to the people who have seen these wild visions to compare notes.
It's true! It's all true! The waves will swallow us all!
With a village of fishermen, nothing. But they cling fiercely to the forge you gave them. Some of the men are here for gold and good steel, and I promised them their share. But I came for cannons. With the battery's cannons, we can hold the pass. Rayed Saris has suffered enough. Its sons and daughters have nothing. We won't survive an attack from the Deerwood when it comes. Not unless we act. There is an army coming. I've seen it. Pouring down from the mountain. It will crush Stalwart and come for Rayed Saris. The Iron Flail will be the wall that safeguards my homeland from the worst these fire worshippers can bring to bear. So I believed. Hoped, maybe. But that only means they're angry. They'll look for someone to blame, an enemy to fight. I warn you, if you think to taunt me, Watcher, why would they turn on their own? No, you're trying to trick me. This is all another distraction.
Hey, you can call them backwater fools all you want, but don't let them hear you badmouth their destruction.
Does your conscience prick at you? Don't waver now. The thunder followed me to the temple at Dawn's Reach, and the earth split beneath our feet. That you're soft-hearted, but it hasn't seemed to stop you. And that you have seen and done a great many things. Things I would not have otherwise believed. I led my people here because I believed we were on the right path. I bound my soul to this blade as proof of my surety. The sword's no good to me now. It's yours, for as long as you can wield it. I'll call in our forces from the mountains. Please, give me time to explain. You should speak with Stalwart's messengers. Perhaps you'll get some answers out of them.
Drive the raid Sarens from these mountains, and you may yet spare many lives. The Tidebringer will be here in a week's time. Should you be delayed in your travels, report to him as you would to me. He will enter the reliquary and call off the army of Eyeless in my stead. If you are caught, sister, you know what you must do. I will pray for your return, but we will take comfort in the knowledge that you have joined the rest of Andra's favorite in her keeping.
It's a fort. Can't keep those things out.
Those things, they came from all sides. The delegate... No, you were right. The visions are true. You fought well. And I'm glad to see you've come through in one piece. Not many of my men were so lucky. I'll take what's left of our forces. Those that will follow me further up the mountain. We should be prepared when those monsters return. I have seen already that there is little you can't accomplish.
You don't mess around when you make enemies, do you?
Merla. Like an animantis
No problem.
construct. But what could have made creatures like this?
I guess we should be flattered that someone sent those things after us. But I would have preferred a card. I'd heard rumors of the Eyeless, but I always thought that name was a metaphor. Though I would have called them Mace Hands of Doom, if anyone had asked me. Ah, you wound me. So this is the mysterious army you've been dreaming about, huh? It's a wonder you're getting any sleep. I'm regretting all of my decision-making up to this point. Still, I guess a suicidal plan is better than none. I know, it's just... well, knowing that I'm finally close to getting rid of this memory, it feels like it's crowding my head that much more. It's been with me for decades. Driven me halfway across the known world. You're right. It was a war. Centuries ago, before Adiran unification. I was a soldier then. Led a campaign across the northern forests to subdue some of the outlying Kulklan villages. Brutal work. This was 500 years ago, when Adir was a folk kingdom on one side and elven country on the other. They fought on and off before they joined. Now the folk and elven rulers marry to keep the peace. Right, the campaign. Lost a third of my forces to the forest, and another third to the elven scouts hiding in it. By the time we reached the first village, we'd crushed their defenses, and they'd bled us. Wasn't much more than children and the elderly left, but they spit on us when we marched into town. The village elders surrendered, and offered us lodging in the old meeting hall. And when the sun set, they tried to burn it down around us. They barely got a flame going, but that wasn't the point. Figured you'd understand. In their defiance, I saw months more of pointless, bloody battle as we fought for the rest of the region. I had to break them. And I had to send a message to the rest of the villages. So I nailed every last one of them to the trees around the town and left them there to die. So I've tried to tell myself. Anyway, we should get going. Something I've been saving for better days.
Got it.
Hard to imagine a whole sect living out here. But I guess that's the point.
Even our visitor is to be turned away. You look pale, sister. Find someone to take your place. I'll stand watch.
I'd hoped I was over this illness, but
Why
clearly
not?
not.
Me for long.
I shall take your advice.
Saw they let you through. You must be our visitor.
Tidebringer.
The High Abbot
been
awaits
so
you
long.
inside. Straight
My
back.
soul
Won't
is
stop
ready.
me for long.
I should not have peered over the edge. I could see no bottom.
Ha! Perhaps if you pray, the lady will allow you to forget.
Worthen rock!
This won't stop me for long.
They call out sometimes. Even the guards below think it's strange.
For Andra, most like. They surely long for
Smells
her
like an
embrace.
ocean breeze. We've got to be close.
You are a guest, I take it? You will find the abbot past the chamber of the fallen moon, behind me. I never knew. Did you hide in the
Why
White
not?
March after that?
As far away as I could. The Dominels didn't care I was a gift bearer.
Even with your labors, your
Evidence is
presence of mind
evidence.
never falters. I don't know how you do it.
Perhaps your thoughts would swim deeper if your tongue didn't come out for air so often, dear brother.
The High Abbot imparted to me that I wasn't alone. He has nightmares sometimes as well.
Truly?
Oh, it surprised me to hear it. He has such a peaceful manner.
Good. The Conclave has elected a Tidebringer after all. I had begun to worry. And they took my advice in providing you an escort. Very good. I am sorry I could not make your journey easier. I am Kauto, the High Abbot. And just in time. The May Queen's tide is nearly past its peak. Much longer, and we'd have had to wait another year. The rules of the Rising are quite clear on that, unfortunately. When you are ready, we will begin with the recitation. I was elected by the Conclave, as you were, but you already knew that much. It was unexpected. There were others more accomplished. I was merely a scholar. But they each had their faiths called into question, and no one could find cause to doubt mine. It was such an honor to become one of Andra's most trusted servants. It was hardly a choice at all. If you were not, you would be the first person to stumble across this place in all my years here. Andra protects us in this place. The faithful who stand guard here do it in her honor, not because we are vulnerable. You are our Tidebringer, aren't you? Andra, forgive me for saying so, but the reasons are difficult to fathom. The land here can be cruel indeed. You seem nervous. The Conclave chose you for a reason. For a devout follower of Andra, the answers will flow naturally to you. I remember my own rising. The Conclave sent me on the same exhausting journey. When it came time for the recitation, I could not remember a word. But it all came back in time. Our goddess smiles upon the forgetful. Our library is open to you, as are the grounds outside. There is a beautiful mural out there that you should see, if you haven't yet. And you may, of course, speak with the gift-bearers here, if it helps your recollection. Take your time, and examine these things before your recitation. Do not be afraid to fail. A lapse here or there is to be expected. But do take care in your work. Even my patience has limits. Yes, of course. I would not pass my station to you without passing that knowledge as well. It is the Abbey's most sacred chamber. When the rising is complete, I will take you there myself. In fact, the ritual demands it.
He seemed preoccupied.
I expect I would be too in his position.
Smells fresh. That can't be the salt well.
Got it.
It's here. The salt well. You know, I thought it'd be bigger. You know how when you've been thinking about something so long, you're worried that when you finally get it, it won't be what you expected? I mean, for all we know, that thing's just filled with leeches. Don't remind me. That was my soul, but it wasn't me. I was a different person, shaped by a different past. I don't think I could do anything so awful now. I was afraid you'd say something like that. My parents always said that anything that seems too good to be true probably is. You spend so much time searching for a way to fix what's broken. You don't see that the fixing would only break something else. Only one thing left to do. Took this from the Marchezo cellar the night I was awakened. One of the finest vintages there. Been saving it to celebrate my new start. I think it's time to open it. A few years past its peak. Good thing we're enjoying it now. The best burdens are the ones you share. Time to make some good memories. Uh-huh.
Got it. Why not? There! Done! Would you look at this?
This is the record.
Yes. See that it is cast away with the others.
Are you prepared now for the recitation? Very good. We shall commence the rising. First is Anthu. Last is Dianthu. For the tide comes at the end and leaves at the beginning. I am Disaman the ebb, who comes this way. Blessed be Saman, that washes over the shore and brings the end. Blessed be Disaman, that returns to the sea and leaves behind the beginning. A gift-bearer comes to Disaman and asks him to bear his burdens away. What token do you offer, gift-bearer? The token is received in Andra's name. Tell me of your burdens. In Andra's embrace, our burdens are lifted. The Tidebringer shows herself worthy of her charge. Your purpose here, Tidebringer, is to perform the ceremony of the rising. It is the transition of one phase of service to the next. On the level beneath us in the halls of silence, our low-tide brothers and sisters have lived for many years, sealed by their own will. It is time for them to be relieved of service, and for the high-tide brothers and sisters here to take their place. In the halls below, you will find a relic, Andra's witness, and a spurgulum for dispensing holy water, but also something more. It is set into a device it operates atop a flight of steps. The device will flood the halls of silence. This is the rising. It is the will of Ondra. Every monk assigned to the abbey understands and accepts this. The monks here have all served as gift-bearers. We bear away people's most painful memories, and always a part of them remains with us.
He's right about that much.
In the halls of silence, memory itself fragments until it is no more. The halls are a reprieve from a gift-bearer's burden. In the end, the halls take all memory, but the process takes a toll, as you might imagine. After many years, when the process is complete, the rising is performed, to give final peace to those who dwell there. This is your charge. It goes beyond that. It is about duty as well. The Abbey is one of Ondra's most guarded secrets. Death is no guarantee our knowledge will fade safely. It is necessary that the memories of this place be washed away. We do this in Ondra's service. The high tide is to replace the low, and stand vigil in the halls of silence until the next rising. When you have completed the rising, bring Ondra's witness to me here. I will show you the last of what you need to know. The device it operates is a simple valve mechanism. It will be clear to you when you see it. To reach your destination, you will need to know the sign of the tide, which is kept only by the High Abbot. It's said that it is the first knowledge lost when the Abbot joins the low tide in the halls of silence. Watch carefully. I trust you will perform your duty, Tidebringer.
Why not?
Stop me.
Make sure they receive extra. I'll not let them fall into the goddess's embrace with empty stomachs.
Their supplies are bountiful, sister. I have seen to it.
Mind your center. You always knew this time would come.
I've seen the other side, brother. I'll find its waters again, warm and soothing.
Glad I chose Weil over Andra. I got better treatment from Galloway.
Who's there? Is that you, Edith? I thought I'd lost you.
I see this man's mind, shattered, crumbling, even as we stand here.
I called for you. I wanted to search, but the blizzard lasted days. I'm so sorry. But wait. We did find you. When the thaw finally came, I saw you, rigid, frozen. You cannot be Edith. No, We are in the Abbey. Gift bearers. And you must be the Tidebringer. Then listen well, Tidebringer. Kauto does not know what he asks, nor did I when I performed the Tidebringer's duties so long ago. The halls of silence. They take our minds, memory by memory. It would be peaceful, we were told, like going to sleep. Look around you. We, the low tide, who have been sealed down here all these many years, do we seem at peace to you? We are lost, terrified. No one has asked me in I don't know how long. Who was I? I was the High Abbot, wasn't it? High Abbot. Ferentis. That was me. Or the one before me, if not. No longer, though. I am just another brother of the low tide. I remember a woman. Was she my wife? She had curls in her hair, and she spoke softly. What became of her? I carry so many memories that I took from strangers who wanted to be rid of them. I don't know what's mine anymore. And there are so many holes. Every image a blur or a void. Would that I could be free of this place. Free to make new memories. To know who I am. The Tidebringer comes to replace the High Abbot. The ritual is called... It is called... The Rising. Yes, we carry so many memories. Tragic or dangerous some. We live above for a time, devoted to Andra. Then we come here to forget it all. Wash our souls clean of the memories. When it is done, a Tidebringer is summoned. Those above, the high tide, they become the low tide. It means they are brought here to the halls of silence, but not before the old low tide are removed, drowned in a flood, and swept away. The rising, did we? We did. We chose it when we thought it was our duty, and that it would be peaceful. But the more we forget, the less we understand. Every day something familiar becomes strange. If I had known, I'd never have accepted my assignment to the Abbey. Nor would many, I suspect.
He made his choice when he was of sound mind. He's not himself anymore. Better to finish the ritual and release him back to the wheel.
There is a relic, an aspergillum, it was called. What was it? Well, it doesn't matter. It controls the floodwaters, but also the outer floodgates. Andra's Witness! That is the name. It is down here, but I don't recall how to reach it. The High Abbot knows. If you can find out from him, you could set us free. Open the gates. We would leave in peace and finish our lives in dignity. We are all so old now. There is little damage we could do in this state.
I don't know. We had this old fella in Gilded Veil. Looked harmless, couldn't talk. He'd bite you if you tried to steal his steak when no one was looking.
Once we are free of this place, we will be able to make memories again. The confusion and paranoia will pass. Use the door behind me. Safer that way.
Quiet.
Andra's tides. Here's hoping the cold gets them before they reach a town.
You've made a grave mistake. I will correct it in Andra's name.
Sono un ex-costenago.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm ready.
Hey. Yeah?
I was enjoying myself. Almost tripped.
Sure.
Yes?
Got it.
I knew the Abbey was a secret, but I had no idea.
This is very good.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged. Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened. The forge ignited. You showed mercy to souls that evaded my judgment. Secured them to the battery's defenses. Mercy was not yours to give. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried. It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunen came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end. You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance. How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition. I mourned the loss of the Pargrunen. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon. Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher. Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth. Or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget. For some, perhaps, but for many the memory is all that remains of it. Would your life not have a better course, Amawa, if the faults of another lifetime were not dragging you down?
I used to think so. But turning your back on something doesn't make it go away. Just makes it easier for someone to stick a knife in your spine.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm. Responsibility is another word for guilt. For those who have made amends or were born with the burdens of others, should they not be freed, even when problems have run their course? Memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss. Indeed? And what has led you to conclude you know better than a god, mortal?
My master could not have said it better.
That hardly sounds like an improvement on inner peace. Is that the extent of your argument? Your reasoning is interesting, mortal. Perhaps there is something to it. But it is not my will to simply do good. Those broken souls that fail your test, those are the ones I love most. For no other god will have them. What small mercies they ask of me, I will always grant. Was there something else, mortal? Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abidin did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy. The least I could do for ending his life. I called the moon down to me, Ione brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon. But it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself. Ione brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them. That time has been forgotten now, and so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact. No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body. Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work. The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ione brother, they remained silent. Even Abidin, he knew it was for the best, but he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it. We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late. You may ask. The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them. I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity. What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine. Some things that are forgotten must never be remembered, not merely for the benefit of those who forgot, but for the entire world. There can be no second thoughts, no sympathy or stays of execution. The Eyeless were born to fulfill this task, though even their creator did not know it. They are single-minded and relentless. They do not flinch when called upon to do what is necessary. Kith owe them a great debt for the troubles they have hidden away. They were his once, I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back. I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together. Speak your mind. Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal. And what if I did, mortal? It does him no harm to forget. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten the harmony between the gods. It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world, and the death of one of our number. Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. It carries no truth or meaning but what we ascribe. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace. Memory deceives. It distorts. It reimagines. This is no different. The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand another shock. The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand. He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions. Yes. I admired him for that. Whatever he was to me, it was not meant to last. Always our duty is to Eora first. I knew he opposed what I intended. That he would wish to preserve what I meant to destroy. I knew it would cause a rift that might never be mended. But I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never know him. Because it might cause him to remember. No, mortal. Better that we should exist as we are now. What happened once must never happen again. Bad enough that I am cursed to remember it. On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant. Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the Eyeless shall rest once more. Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The Eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry. Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The Raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well. The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already. Your determination is commendable, but the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck. I will give you what aid I can. I bade the Eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Eoni Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairin's Scar. Know too that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do. Nothing I say will make sense until you see it for yourself, mortal. We share a common purpose now. I will see you through it when the time comes. If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen. Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the Eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any Eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
My eyes are peeled.
There is a spirit lion there, just ahead. Can you see it, Watcher? The lion was the symbol of my master, Ishipilo. This is a sign. Has he come here at last to teach me what he would not in life? To be the Anitle? This is a Nalpazka warrior who has ascended from the snares of the material world. He cannot be beaten. It was Ishipilo's greatest secret. Even on his dying day, he refused to pass it on to me. If he had taught me, I would have been able to protect the Takan. We would never have been conquered. I swore to return to liberate my people when I had learned to become the Anitle. This lion, this is what I have been waiting for. I have some herbs prepared, malkuchoa, plus some things I've been saving. We should eat them so we can meet with the lion in its world. It would be my honor if you would come with me on this journey. A watcher may see things that I cannot. That goes for everyone. I would welcome the presence of friends.
Diverus, you can't be serious.
I'll try anything once. Bunch of times if it's good.
I can't believe you've been holding out on me this long.
No better friend than one sharing good drugs.
Are you ready? Of course. Excellent. You are ready. Do not let the lion escape us! Is that flower singing? No. Oh, stay focused, Zawa. I wouldn't be so sure.
On that pedestal you see before you. Yes, the one with the bodies. As I was saying, on that pedestal you see before you, I placed a gem for safekeeping. You have never seen such a perfect gem. I regretted leaving it behind almost immediately. It has been my every waking thought ever since. It is all I have left of something that was important to me.
Very important, by the look of it.
That would be most welcome.
What is this that so many have died to approach it?
Just tasted breakfast.
Aravius, you mustn't wait.
Not too alarming, but I'm slowly dying of poison. Hate seeing a little guy go.
Were you able to retrieve the gem? This is a great relief. Give it here. Ah, clumsy. No need to worry, I've got it now.
This is a snare my master never told me of. How great, how subtle the hold of the past upon us.
There is no mistake. The portents do not lie. Zawa, you will be our chieftain. You will succeed Ishapino and lead us to victory over the Kechmai. I will tell Ishapilo that he must accept you. The path must be cleared for your reign.
Let's go!
No problem.
The shaman's vision always stayed with me. After my master had passed, even after the Takan were conquered, I thought of what the shaman had said and held on to hope. But I wonder if it did not also make me proud and foolhardy. If I ignored my own defeat because I did not believe it possible. Zawa has done his people no favors as chieftain, and the Quetzalcoatl would mock your words. But what you say is true, nevertheless.
Eh?
There! I see it!
Have you come here to eat me?
Yes, we have. Zawa, I think I understand what this all means now. Quick, we have to eat it!
We are not here to eat you, but you are easy prey. Is there nowhere you can hide?
The beast of this place would catch my scent. I would not get far. But there may be a way I could be protected. A great tree grows to the north, whose sap has an odor that is repellent to predators. If you could draw this sap and rub it into my coat, I would be safe. I could heal and return to my herd. To the north, beside a cave, you will not find a larger tree in the forest. Gallowayne speed your steps.
Did you see where it went?
Will you help me? Water. From the waterfall, please. It appears to be the same in every way, but alas, it only makes my thirst greater. Only water from the waterfall will do. I wish it were not so. I have tried but the water eludes me. I open my mouth, and it falls only on either side. I place cupped hands beneath and pull them out dry. Only the first time was I able to taste it. Never have I tasted anything so pure. Ever since, I have not been able to bring myself to leave. I wish only to taste it once more. That would be enough. You will need this to collect the water. Have you had any success? Wonderful! I've waited so long! Oh no! Oh.
Given his history, I am surprised he had not foreseen this possibility. He longs not for the water, but for the experience of first tasting it. He is bound for disappointment. His suffering is very pretty, yet it feels empty. What value does it have if he refuses to learn from it? Can he not see that he seeks something that can never be recovered?
Hello, pupil. You come to me with a question, do you not?
Yes, Ishipilo. I have sought your wisdom across many lands, over many years. Are you here to grant it to me?
Yes, pupil. I am here for you.
Our people are captives of the Ketchmotl. I need to know the secrets of the Anitle.
Of course. The answer has been with you the whole time, pupil. You are blind not to...
Master, please. I cannot hear you. Answer me! Even after his death, I have always felt that when the time was right, Ishipilo would find a way to teach me his secret. And yet here we are on his trail, and his knowledge is no less a mystery to me. Is this what I am meant to see? That his teachings will always be beyond me? You speak truly, but his knowledge is the difference between a free Takan and an enslaved Takan. Zawa cannot help but seek it. We are too late. The wolves have come. It was a mistake to leave the animal here unprotected. That is difficult to accept. In my heart, it feels as though there was more we could have done. In the end, though, the wolves would have come. They can smell weakness from great distances. We may have been bound for failure from the start. Chief Aurelia, why are you here?
I come on behalf of the Ketchmar to pay you tribute, great chieftain.
You have come to see if I am ready to protect my people.
Well, are you?
When the Ketchmar chieftain saw me, he knew I was not prepared to resist him. If I had been more convincing, I have always believed they would not have attacked. It may be. I believe I was mistaken. This was the life of the Takan. We lived knowing that one day the wolves would come. And finally, the day came when we were wounded and could not escape them. I have been caught in a snare, worrying over things that could not be changed. These visions shame me with their truths. Ishipilo never warned me of this, but I should have seen it sooner. I have become a slave to knowledge I will never learn. I have denied all my failures, yet I feel no different, no freer than I was. There is something I am missing, even now. This may be our answer. Let us see what has been uncovered. You must come with me at once.
Zawa, you should not be here. If you are caught, they will execute you, and they will not fail twice.
I do not care about my life, Namaltia. I come to liberate the Takan. We will unite and revolt.
And who will you unite? Our men are dead or broken. Their labors were too cruel. Our women are mothers to Ketchmar children now. The Takan live only in your mind.
She was a Nalpasco warrior, eldest daughter of the shaman. She would have been, the wife of the Takan chieftain, if the Takan had not fallen. Some years ago, Zawa considered that he might never learn Ishipilo's secret, but he had vowed to return to his people. And so he did. He journeyed to Ketchmar, and while their warriors were off raiding, he spoke to the surviving Takan he found there. An argument Zawa had with someone once. Nothing came of it. Zawa has never spoken of it to anyone. He waited too long in returning. If there was a time to liberate his people, it passed long ago, while he searched for the secret of the Anitle. Ishipilo's knowledge was the one last thing of Takan that might have been recovered. But I see now that I was caught in a snare. The gem, the antelope, the waterfall. Their lessons were not about Ishipilo's secrets. They were about my vow to return to the Takan. The time of my people has ended. There is nothing more I can do for them. Their time on Aora was too brief. There is much the rest of the world might have learned from them, much that I might yet share. The dream fades around us. I believe it is time to return. Zawa is ready. What do you need of Zawa?
My eyes are peeled.